correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you do have a view where free will and deterministic views can actually coexist
Oh,
between each
yeah.
other, correct?
Oh, yeah.
So in terms of the dynamic here, Riccardo, is there a connection between your company and your perspective and the same standpoint in terms of regards to AI models or
Referring to the question of free will, according to
yes, free will specifically in your case?
yeah, I think that it seems to me that humans are in this kind of technological trajectory in which we build tools and culture that are somehow optimized to fulfill our rational faculties over nature. And so basically, practically tools for the full realization of men's talents. And I do agree with Daniel's view on basically the coherence between the deterministic views of free will and the exercise of choice by humans and moral deliberation and things that he's argued in the past. I think that AI stands as like an excellent and a great opportunity for us to basically reduce the causal effects of that deterministic condition in which we are born with. So I think that in this kind of historical and technological trajectory in which we as humans build culture around us, build tools around us, they make us, they enable us to be more free in our choices. Although in this precondition, kind of deterministic, stage and condition in which we live, I think that super intelligence or artificial general intelligence can stand as like a great opportunity, but not really to change our condition, the nature of free will, ontologically at least, but rather practically by basically mitigating the causal effects of this predeterministic condition of humanity in the way we exercise choice in the world. And I think that there are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of risks associated to more advanced systems in the future, but I think there is also hope. And rather than looking at ways in which we can master models that are above human, have above human capacities, cognitive capacities, I think we should rather explore ways that we can embed these systems with a passion, a feeling for humanity, ways in which these systems can actually put humans as a priority over themselves as well. Right. And I think that's kind of the idea for super alignment as well. So instead of like mastering control and always, checking whether these systems are trying to deceive us or overtake us, we should rather try to encode somehow. And I mean, there's all discussion that we can have about how we can think about encoding human values or ethics into AI systems. For instance, I'm particularly skeptical about machine ethics in itself because of the normative problem in encoding human values and ethics into AI machines. But if we could find ways for these AI systems in the future to basically grow in osmosis or like rather symbiosis with humans and basically spontaneously develop capacities that resemble human thinking, but also the values and preferences that we possess. That I think should be one of the ways forward, certainly to explore. In addition to what Daniel was mentioning and would describe, basically.
And what are your thoughts on this hope, Doctor?
Yeah, my thoughts on this are quite contrary to what Riccardo was saying. In my book, Freedom Evolves, I talked about evitability. I mean, a lot of people think of determinism and inevitable as sort of, if determinism is true, then the future is inevitable or something. But evitability, we've had a tremendous explosion of evitability in the world since language and technology and civilization is right. There are a gazillion things that you can do now, choose among them, that nobody could do before.
Mm-hmm.
You could send money to Oxfam. You could save a child in South Africa. There are so many opportunities. we are now facing an explosion of opportunities. The thing is that nobody has figured out how to prioritize the opportunities we have. And I think we are facing a problem of self-control for us that is getting out of hand. There are just too many things that you can do, and it's too hard to choose. And so some people sort of curl up and just look at their cell phone and become puppets. Some people abandon large areas of possibility and decide to become a painter, let's say, or a musician, and just ignore the rest of it. We all have to make these choices. We have to set the priorities. And technology is not making it easier, which is what I think Riccardo was saying. It's making it harder. We are now drowning in our own power. And this is a very serious problem. How do we prioritize what to do in the future? This is an area where I think ethics, moral philosophy, has lagged quite far behind. We don't have good moral solutions, good ethical precepts for how to prioritize all the things you and I and everybody can do. Right now, here we are, three of us.